Carlos Adames says that Jermall Charlo is a chicken. He's a coward. He's scared to fight him. He said he got all these excuses about how, he's injured or he's sick. He says the truth of the matter is that Jermall Charlo just doesn't want to fight any good fighters and says, hurry up and fight me. So he did an interview with Fight Hype. Also seen an interview on boxingscene.com. I feel like Jermall Charlo should be able to beat Carlos Adames. He's the interim WBC 160-pound champion. I know he had problems cutting weight. It's one of the reasons he lost to Patrick Teixeira and Top Rank let him go. He ended up coming over to PBC and looking a lot better at 160. You hear, rumors that, he go back to the Dominican Republic after fights and gain a whole bunch of weight. And then, his camps become fat camps. And he focusing on cutting more weight than actually getting better in the ring. And heard that they stopped him from kind of going back to the Dominican Republic, and he been staying in the gym. And that's what happened when activity died. That's what happened when you got discipline. And he ain't had no discipline. And big dude at 154, big dude at 160. And ever since, it sounded like they kind of stopped him from going back home in between fights. He been looking a lot better, So he holds the interim title. Charlo getting a lot of passes for a situation. Some people pointing out at some of these events, he be walking around drunk and all that type of stuff. Don't know if he drunk or not, but you see people pointing it out that, shit, life happens, The WBC giving him benefit of the doubt. You got to remember, too, they owe him because they robbed him of the opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez, and they upgraded Canelo to the franchise champion to make it look like Canelo wasn't ducking him, and Canelo ducked him. That's what it was. And, he didn't get his opportunity to win his belt in the ring. And, I think Floyd just spoke on with all these belts, he wanted to create his own belt, and all these belts, these guys shouldn't be proud if they didn't take their belt from another champion. And I agree with that. You hear people say, I just want the belt, And a lot of times getting the belt trigger clauses in the contract too. Probably more money for championship fights. And also what happens too is sometimes they extend a promotional pack or a management pack too. So, but yeah, that's a fight I would like to see. But, I want to see Charlo in the big fights. But if he got to warm up versus Adames, he said him and Andrade got on the phone and talked about it. So it don't seem like Adames on his mind at all. Now, Adames got a fight coming up with J-Rock, which most people expect him to, run through J-Rock. Most people think he finished at this point in his career. That's just a stay busy fight. And, the Adames fight is a fight that, some hardcore boxing fans are interested in. But, is it a main event at this point? If it's true that Charlo ain't moving tickets and networks and people losing money, he trying to keep his seat warm for Canelo. Danny Reynoso said it's a fight that got to happen. So you already know they're trying to preserve it instead of, going to prove that you're worth it and going to knock off some guys that maybe Canelo fought or didn't already fight. He been in a division with Billy Joe. It ain't happened. He been in a division with Andrade. It didn't happen. They could at least be trying to make the Jenna big fight. I know it ain't the biggest fight, the Munguia fight. They moved on from the Munguia fight because the Zone wanted to be a part of it. But the Munguia was the A side. Even without the belt, Munguia brought the fans, so he was going to benefit more from fighting Munguia than, anybody else in the division. Didn't allow it to happen. So, to me, what it kind of just sound like, what he kind of saying, it don't sound like they really trying to fight Adames. Maybe he going to move up to 168 pounds, fight Andrade in the winter, get David Benavidez and Morrell winner. That's what I don't know inside information, but to me, that's what it sounds like. The Adames ain't gonna never get his crack, and that's unfortunate, man. The guys got to call themselves champions without winning the belt in the ring. It got to be the best feeling in the world to strip somebody of their belt and take it from them. And I think that's some sucker shit for a lot of guys to willingly drop their belt, not losing in the ring unless you really can't make the weight. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really cleaned out the division or you can't make the weight or whatever, or you going and chase a challenge. But I really think, a lot of these dudes becoming email champions and You know, they vacating the belt and they fighting nobodies for interim belts, and then they getting upgraded. I mean, ain't nothing like taking the belt from the man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like prying a WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO ring magazine from somebody cold hands and just stripping them of it. And a lot of people in boxing ain't even going to be able to experience that, to literally beating somebody's ass and taking what they not willing to give you on a high level. You know, think about that. A lot of people ain't going to be able to experience. A lot of these guys ain't experiencing it at all. You know, and stripping somebody of their fucking dignity right in front of everybody. So, but yeah, you know, I don't just what Charlo saying in interviews, and him and Andre get on the phone and said he can go right into it. What you hearing, that Showtime just tired of wasting money and time on him and shit like that. I think he probably gonna go right into a big fight with Andre. You know, I know it don't sound too good after 600 days that he might take another tune-up, but I think Showtime really ain't trying to do something then. He said he'd be back June or July. I heard that he ain't really got no return date, that he just talking. So they ain't got shit. That's just a rumor. They ain't got nothing planned for him. Ain't nothing on deck for him right now. So that's why you hear him talking about him and Andre got on the phone and talked about fighting each other next and stuff. I think Showtime really ain't trying to fuck with him. You know, at all. So I think it's deeper than what's going on at the crib. So maybe he had to go be a co-feature or somebody undercard or not. But there's a lot of guys we ain't seen in the ring this year, and they, you know, it ain't summer right around the corner. There ain't been no summer lineup announced. We ain't seen Spence. We ain't seen Jermall. We ain't seen Jermall. We ain't seen Gary Russell. Who else we got out there? We ain't seen Deontay. We ain't seen Andy. There's rumors around Andy and Deontay. So it's a number of guys that, you know, we ain't seen. We ain't seen Keith. We ain't seen Danny. You hear Danny and Laura rumors, but Laura got a mandatory or whatever situation. There's a lot of guys we ain't seen. So we gotta wait and see, and it's gonna be interesting because Fondura was getting fight dates out the ass, and now he got knocked out. And if Fondura able to come back before a lot of these other guys get back in the ring, that's gonna be telling. So, but you know, is Adames a threat? Yeah, of course, he active, and apparently he changed. You know, he changed a lot of dietary things about what he got going on in his career. So he changed a lot of stuff as far as how he operating and all that type stuff. So yeah, he changed. He changed. You know, they say he used to go over to the Dominican Republic and eat like crazy, but and then you got somebody who been fairly active in the diamonds compared to a lot of the guys today. He been fairly active, and then you go to a guy in Charlo who ain't fought in almost 2 years. You know, it's less than 8 weeks to Juneteenth. You know, and then it's rumors out there that he didn't injure his back, that, you know, the tickets wasn't selling in Houston when he fought Lucky. Then you hear rumors out there saying that Showtime don't want to fuck with him no more because they tired of the piss poor matchmaking. They losing money. So I don't know if they want to handpick his opponent or what. And is the Diamonds fight an attractive enough fight? Ain't no more Fox. You know, what he gonna be on Fight TV with the Mayweather Promotion young fighter? So, I mean, that's what you hear. And right now you hear he was like, well, I'll be back, you know, January, February. Then it's, you know, I'll be back June or July. Man, I heard that they ain't got nothing planned for that man right now. So I don't know if Adames gonna get a vacant belt and he gonna move up, or, you know, they looking to make big fights or whatever the situation may be. But right now I heard that he ain't got no fight date. Ain't no fight date planned for him. So, you know, so take it for how you want to live. Now, I think he can beat Adames. You know, Adames, you know, even I seen him kind of versus Derevchenko. I think that's who he's fighting. He still was fading down the stretch. You know, he still got conditioning issues. See, one thing about a thing about that is, yeah, you can stop going home and stop your bad habits, but the thing about it is, just because you had one clean camp, that don't mean you still ain't gonna have your issues there. You gotta put clean camp together with other clean camps. You gotta be clean in between camps or not so damaging. So his conditioning, he's still fading in them later rounds. It might be a pace thing. It might be a genetic thing. So with Charlo, he faded versus Montiel. I think that's the last time we seen him. And you could tell something was wrong with him. He wasn't training and shit. So it's a good fight, but I'm not sure it's big enough and it's lucrative enough for Showtime to really want to put it on in this sale. It's he might have to go back to being an undercard guy, according to what they saying. But I don't know. But hey, we'll see. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live with our video. Financially want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Hit the link tree, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.